Joining us on the line now for a look at the numbers out from Remgro is the company CEO Jannie Durand. Jannie, thank you for making the time to join us. Now, one of the headlines that I saw before coming to the desk this afternoon was Remgro is no longer old and boring, waiting for dividends to pay out. Is this a reflection of the numbers, you believe?
I'm not sure about that comment, but I think we are old. We're a company, we've been in existence for 70 years, so I won't always believe what I read. But in any case, no, we're quite happy about the numbers. We think we had quite a satisfactory set of results. Thank you very much.
Jannie, thank you very much for joining us as well. And you're not old and boring, I'm sure. Headline earnings per share, excluding Mediclinic, up 20.5%. Ordinary dividend up 12.5%. Intrinsic net asset value per share up 20.1%. How can you boost your portfolio? I mean, you must be looking at assets all the time. People put things on your table. But are they all a little bit overvalued and you just go for the organic growth from the stuff you've got already?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a combination. In the past year, we've moved TSB, the sugar company, under RCL Foods. The prior year, we've acquired Food Corp, that was an unlisted company. So we do a bit of both. But I think in the current market conditions, prices are a bit expensive, in my opinion. So we're holding back a little bit, as you can see from our investment pipeline and the money that we spent. We didn't spend as much money on investments this year as in the prior year.
Jannie, it's Mark Ingham here in Joburg. The one thing that's always impressed me about Remgro is you take the long view, and I can cite your investment, for instance, just in this period, plate glass, for instance, Grindrod, you're sort of continuing to support that growth. That suggests, Jannie, that you believe that these companies need that capital and can contribute in time to your earnings growth too.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the advantage of having a controlling shareholder, advantage of operating from your own balance sheet, that we've got our own money to invest, so we don't have to look at quarterly performances. We can take a 5, 7, 8-year view on certain of these investments. And I think over a period of time, actually over a long period of time, we've shown that strategy worked for us.
Jannie, given your diversified portfolio, are there any new sectors that perhaps have caught your eye and that you perhaps could be tracking to see if there's any value to be had there?
Yeah, I think there's not really new sectors that has caught our eyes at the moment. We're still concentrating in bedding down some of our acquisitions and also the restructuring on the food side via RCL Foods. We're quite excited about the infrastructure sector. We're supporting that via Grindrod. We've also got a fund that operates into Africa that's looking at infrastructure investments. So those are the two sectors that is actually I think, not the most excited about, I would say, but actually takes a lot of management attention at this point in time.
I think long-term, Jannie, that infrastructure will be the one that will really shine in your portfolio. There was no prospect statement. I'm just going through on my screen here. Normally a company comes out with a prospect statement, but you're being very sort of conservative there. What is it, though?
Yeah, I think the next 12 months is definitely going to be more difficult than the prior 12 months. I mean, on the consumer side, we know that credit is drying up. I mean, consumer has been borrowing to spend, so I think that is going to come down. So I think where we deal directly with the customers, I think it's going to be tougher. But luckily, we've got a long-term view. We'll see through the cycle. There's no doubt that the credit cycle has been at its lowest point ever in a long, long time. So I think that will toughen up. But it might give us some opportunities to acquire assets at cheaper prices if realism sets into the markets.
Jannie, you've got a very good clutch of assets that cover a host of sort of industrial sectors in SA. Particularly, is your focus going to remain South Africa and the region, Grindrod being a very good example, or would you consider casting your net wider?
Our focus is definitely Southern Africa and Africa south of the Sahara. Some of our companies are looking at opportunities in the wider African space. I'm talking Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania. So we're definitely casting our net wider via our underlying investee companies.
A very big thank you to Jannie Durand, the CEO of Remgro.